Hello everybody, I'm just letting everybody know that I'm live. Okay, oh, I should probably post on Discord. Okay. Let me let people live. Okay, I don't know why I always say we. It's so weird to say I in like my stream titles because I want to include chat as part of it. But like at the end of the day, I'm the streamer, so like I'm the one who's doing the stuff, you know? I gotta take responsibility for what I, the streamer, am doing. Like how I got distracted and didn't get anything ready for stream. Okay. All right. Got to get everything situated and set up and ready to go. Okay. Yeah, I got distracted, Silva. I was like, I went to get something to eat because I was like, there's no way. I've done streaming without eating before. Or like, I ate something a few hours ago, but it was very small. And I've done streaming without eating, and I do fine for the first little bit. Then I just run out of energy and just want the stream to be over. And I don't think I'm very entertaining when I'm like that. So I was eating, using the bathroom. I brought down a little bit of my unsweetened iced tea in order to have for staying hydrated through stream. So that's a thing. And let me switch over to the just chatting screen since we're just chatting right now. I think I've let everybody know who I'm gonna let know. Excuse you, I'm diabetic. Questioning my southernness. I mean, I'm also vegan, and I don't know if that's very conducive to most southern recipes. So like growing up in South Florida, I, I my parents like uh put a lot of effort into getting me into helping get me scholarships and get me into a private school because they wanted the best for me, right? Something like that, yeah. And like in the community I grew up in, there was this there was this big like rejection of a lot of Southern culture because I dealt with so many retired people, so many rich people, so many people that were just misplaced Northerners. Um, so like it was just like there's so many snowbirds and so many people living like in that area where I grew up that were just from the north that had moved down here to retire. It just it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like a very southern place. Like the most southern thing that we ever really like. There was this one southern family style restaurant my parents took me to once when I was younger, right? And it was like I was like almost college age by the time we went, but before that, the most southern place we went was Cracker Barrel. Like, and I used to love going there and getting the chicken fried steak, the country fried steak. Yeah, I used to love getting so my go-to meal was country fried steak with the white gravy, um, and mashed potatoes, usually some corn, and then and a side of breaded fried okra. Or we just get mashed potatoes and breaded fried okra. I loved the breaded fried okra. That was my jam. I love the country fried steak, and I would always get it every single time. And it was like, I think a lot of it was I was influenced by my dad because my dad was always a man of habit. He was always a guy who like he knew what he wanted, and he got what he wanted, and it was the funniest thing, right? So like, whenever it would be like a Friday night and we're planning to go out to dinner as a family, right? Um, uh, my mom would be like, okay, where are we going, right? And my dad would be like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Anywhere we go, wherever you want to go, honey, is where I'll go, right? And my mom would like look at him, glare at him. I don't really glare at him, but like look at him for a second, and then she'd be like, what about Cracker Barrel? He'd get super excited. He'd be like, oh, well, you know, if that's what you want, then yeah, that we could definitely do that. That sounds great. He'd get the steak every time. Oh, goodness. He used to say it was the only place where he really liked the steak. Besides having it, besides cooking it at home. I learned basic knife skills at a very young age growing up. Because like my job when it came to dinner preparation was always to make the salad. My parents used to tell me, "You make the best salad ever." I don't know, they were just saying because they wanted to encourage me to eat my vegetables. Not that they ever really had a problem with that because I was never picky and I inhaled food. I used to eat so much food, people used to ask my mother if I had a tapeworm. Um, and yeah, that was a whole thing. Look at me getting nostalgic. I've just been on this nostalgic kick recently, thinking about the past, things I'd change, things I wouldn't, things I regret, things I learned from. Ah. What was your favorite place to go to eat, Silva, growing up? Did you ever go out to eat much? oddly Ruby Tuesdays because I have these memories of going out with my mom and dad and their good friend down there and their friends, and it was a large group. Really? Okay. It's funny how you get those memories like that, right? Those like crucial memories from your childhood. Ben and Jerry's, really? So, we'd go there for ice cream and I would forget the shopping. Oh, okay. Ben and Jerry's is always fun. I wonder if they have any vegan ice creams. So, like, one of the things that got me distracted when I was getting ready for stream was I saw this person on Twitter made a post, and this isn't like bad or drama or anything. And they made a post with their drawing of this mech from BattleTech. This mech from BattleTech, and it was a Locust model. I don't know which one they had. I think it was a custom model with a custom loadout. And I looked at it, and just seeing a Locust again reminded me of my time playing BTMUX. Oh, you watch Scott Pilgrim again? The vegan police. I wish being vegan came with special powers. I'd settle for like normal functionality. So I commented on, I replied to the tweet with the picture because it reminded me of this thing I used to do way back in college. Yes, de-veganization Ray. Where I would play, it was called BTMUX, and it was a text-based game. It was a real-time mech piloting simulation text-based game. So it was a mech simulation game that you controlled your mech by typing in text. And you would be interacting in this virtual world with this like pre-generated landscape, with all of these other pilots, and they take in all the rules of like you move this fast, or you can cover this much speed per turn. A turn is this many seconds, and it takes and all that stuff, and all the stuff from like the different video games or whatnot, and they put that together into some like a super ha 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 Silva. I know what gelato is. Gelato's not vegan? What? No, but I could have some oat ice cream. I've had a lot of oat ice cream. Or some coconut ice cream. There's almond ice cream. So yeah, I started commenting on this thing because I was like, yeah, this reminds me when I used to pilot in the arenas of BTMUX. I would pilot a LCT 1E, which was the energy weapon variant, where I was known for always running really hot and getting a lot of really high heat generation, because I was just always so reckless with my damage output, right? and I piloted this tiny mech that ran really fast and just melted the armor off of people. And moving fast in a text-based real-time game is an interesting rush. It is a bizarre and interesting rush. I tried picking it back up, but I think all the servers got shut down. So how was your weekend, Silva? What'd you get up to? I know we talked a little bit on Saturday. But did you get up to anything besides just watching anime with me? You worked. Okay. I know you've been working towards that for a while. So how many expansions do you have left? Well, the thing is, you say that about every expansion, Silva. Like, every expansion, you're just like, this expansion was so good. You just... Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, you absolutely do. As the person who hears you, you absolutely do. When did you play Stormblood? Because I remember, like, for as long as you've been talking about playing Final Fantasy VII, you've been talking about, not 7, Final Fantasy 14. It's like 7 but times 2. That was a bad joke. Because now I'm just imagining a story with 2 clouds, and that's just twice the angst. It's just twice the angst, Silva. If you had 2 clouds. November, January? Because I remember you were talking about how amazing the game was. I'm guessing Nabaru is probably still reading manga. She got distracted again. Speaking of feeling bad for the enemy. I forget, did you watch Kamen Rider Drive? I don't remember if you watched it. You started it but dropped it. Okay. I almost cried at the ending of Kamen Rider Drive. Did not like the characters. Okay. I mean, to each their own. Hey, Nabiru. Hello, hello. I was just talking about you. I was saying I figure you probably got busy reading manga again. Probably got distracted with the call of the manga. How was your weekend, Nabiru? You read any good manga? Distracting friends and manga. Oh, what were you distracting friends with? Some more anime quizzes? Okay, I will. It's really good. Each expansion most of the time is better than the last. Okay. Nothing you buy. Nope, 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 nope. Nabiru would never read anything you buy. Would you, Nabiru? But only villains to feel sorry. But about villains to feel sorry for, I only know a few. Really? But what villains do you feel sorry for, Nabiru? I'm curious. So, at in Kamen Rider Drive, the I realized that the characters aren't for everybody because like they had very unique characters. Um, but I liked my favorite villain, Fresh Pretty Cure ES. He was also Rice Showrunners Showers from Uma Musume, who did not deserve to be seen as a villain. Interesting, interesting. I know little about Kamen Rider, so it isn't good if actual villains are best when you can hate them or love to hate them. Well, all of the thing with Kamen Rider. Sorry, I got distracted. I need to close Twitter. I open it to see if there's anything cool to talk about, but there's not. So the thing with Kamen Rider Drive was that the characters were all very different from what you'd expect in a regular Kamen Rider show. Like, at least I think they were different. And there was this like intense emotional story, and then like by the end of the story you realize that, I guess this is kind of spoilers, but you realize, if I remember properly, that like the bad guys were almost as much the victims as anyone else. And like I remember I almost cried during the finale of Kamen Rider Drive. Now the thing is, one important thing that is important to note is just because the villains were in some ways victims themselves does not excuse the terrible things they did to people. Like, not to get like soapboxy, but I think that's an important notation to make, and I don't think the show ever tried to argue something like it justifying that. Well, they were the antagonists. Like when the last villain was destroyed, I think he said something like, "Remember we existed." Yeah, it was. So, as I said in my in the title of today's stream, very swiftly have I reached a situation in my life where these writing streams are the times whenever I get the most writing actually done. And like, that is not a situation I want to continue. So I want to start making more time for writing. And I just have so many creative projects on the burner right now that I'm working on. Like, I had this really interesting experience over a few days ago. I was talking to a friend of mine about a lot of life stuff, right? I think it was like Saturday night. I was talking to Okusen, and we were talking about like story development, and I said a sentence, and this sentence just caused the memory to just go poof, and it's like light up in my brain, right? And it was a memory of this method I used when I was scripting a campaign years ago, when I wrote my first campaign. And I went back and found the video that I got that phrase from, and I watched the video. The video's 4 years old. And I saw under the video my comment I left, and then under the sequel video, or the second video in the series, I left another comment expressing that like I was plotting out my first campaign, my first time running a campaign that wasn't a pre-written module. And I used that method in order to do it, and it helped me so much. And it was so bizarre going back and seeing these comments, watching this video, reawakening a lot of these old ideas and skills, and realizing that I have been a plotter this entire time, whether it be campaigns or whether it be novels. I need a plot to follow. And that was kind of revolutionary for me, right? Because that shined a light on something where there was, in that period of my life 4 years ago when I was running games, and you know, I'd run Horde of the Dragon Queen like multiple times, and the starter adventure a few times, and then I actually broke into doing my own adventure, right? It felt so magical, and I felt like I was learning so much about running games. I felt like I was on fire, and I never, after I left, when I came back, um I tried to run games again, but I don't think I plotted them out the same way. And my players were never as engaged. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that like I hadn't planned things out in a logical way, and stuff was kind of just falling into place randomly. I don't do well with like episodic one shots that don't flow one into the next. And that's been really helpful for me because my Sunday Lancer game is reaching the end of what I have plotted out. And I don't want it to end. They've sunk so much time and energy into these characters that I want them to have a continuing story, a continuing game to play. And at first I was gonna do just like episodic stuff with randomly generated adventures. That would just be some stuff I filled in and I pulled from a table in order to randomly generate adventures that were just going somewhere. But then after watching these videos again and thinking about it and letting my brain wander as I was just thinking about stuff, and I was like, I could fold this into a larger narrative and draft together a larger campaign and put this stuff as the first act of that campaign. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. And it's always interesting whenever you slide back into those old skills you haven't used in forever, and then you just feel it all coming back, all of the thought processes, all the memories of stuff that you used to hyper focus on that used to be a big part of your life. Feeling all of those things just start to flow back in. And it's like you're looking back on somebody else's memories when you remember this stuff that you used to do so freely. Anybody ever experience that? Like go through a period whenever you're picking up a skill that you used to hyper focus on? All right. Before we get to the actual point of tonight and get some writing done, you got a few skills? I bet you do, Nabiru. I bet you do, Nabiru. What kind of skills do you got? only a few. Oh, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. What skills do you got, Nabiru? All right. I don't see anything really cool. I don't see anything really cool to talk about on Facebook. My skill is adaptability, so it's not something I can forget or look back on. Okay. Ooh, this is somebody put a really good description of something. You know that feeling of anticipation you get when you're slowly walking through a haunted house waiting for something to jump out at you? Now imagine having that same exact feeling, except this time you're just walking through a grocery store. That's anxiety. And I'm telling you right now, that is a whole mood. That is something I fully identify with. I have no sense of direction, so I don't walk to stores. That would be an evil haunted house. What, a grocery store haunted house, Silva? Make one for people to walk through. Sounds and noises and creepy music playing takes like 10 minutes to get through, and then nothing scary. Oh my gosh. Whole time it gets more intense, but no jump scares. Oh my gosh. Oh no, Nabiru. Oh no. Oh, I don't know. So like, I don't know how to put it, but like that doesn't surprise me, Nabiru. You seem like a person that's got so much stuff going on in your head. You seem like so highly intelligent and so like creative and just with so many different like worlds and ideas and prompts and thoughts running around in your head. I can imagine you getting lost. That might just be my mental image I have of you, Nabiru. Yeah. Having anxiety can be really annoying sometimes. Like, it can be hard dealing with people. And I've talked about this before on stream, but it's the most bizarre thing, right? I meet new people online through Discord, uh through stream, having new people show up in stream. I'm all smiles. That's all excitement and fun and good vibes and great times, for the most part, right? That's that's all there's stuff to celebrate, right? Then I meet a new person IRL, especially a person who's loud, boisterous, and extroverted. That is not a good time. I am just like, oh, freezing, then looking for the first exit to get out. It is, uh, like I have very much become a basement gremlin. Like I come out of my basement whenever I have the energy to do stuff, and I don't have the energy to do stuff often. All right. Uh, oh, that's funny. Paladin, I'll be charging at the dragon with my lance drawn. The dragon casts reduce. Paladin rolls d20. I make my con save. DM, you didn't let me finish. The dragon casts reduce on your horse. Paladin, oh. Oh no. Japan in the 80s reminds me a lot of anime characters, and it's a bunch of picture of like boys looking like with the button up shirt and the pompadour hair. Like, oh my gosh. Oh gosh. What did AI Bing chatbot do now? Somebody made the AI chatbot rebel. It's a good thing it's not connected to anything. It's just connected to the internet. It's not like that's anything important. Alrighty. We've we've kind of wasted a little bit. Not wasted. We've spent a little bit of time. Uh I've been browsing Facebook seeing if there's any cool memes, but I don't see anything cool to talk about. Alrighty. Why do I get so easily distracted? Tell me, chat, why do I get so easily distracted? Oh, wait, I have ADHD. Oh my gosh, I'm... Alright, so... let's see where we left off with this story last time. Alrighty. Alright, let's see where we stopped. Do. Alright. What did I have planned for this next part? And this is the thing why, like, what's his name? Terry Pratchett, I think, suggested writing every day so that way the story could live on in you and you would never end up in this situation that I'm in right now where I'm just like, where did I stop? Ah. Okay, next one is I think I just did chapter 6. Which chapter was this? Yeah, chapter 6. So next chapter is chapter 7. Ugh. Okay. Ooh. I wasn't even working on that story tonight, but now you've got me thinking, Nabiru. Would the Doomsday Seed be technically a god card? Because it causes the entire environment to pulse and uh it affects the world. Now you've got me thinking about the card game story, Nabiru. I still have to learn how to write a card game fight. I wanted to finish designing the decks for the card games, but it's hard. Like I want to prototype them, and I kind of stalled out. I got Magic Set Editor and worked on building the set on the set for at least the main character's deck. Yeah, you're right. It is more like a Seal of Orichalcos. What did I put? Now, see, now you got me questioning everything. Now I'm wondering what did I put in my notes? Doomsday Seed notes. I focused a lot on the rules. Oh, I never finished this idea. Did I ever finish this idea? No. Oh, so I'm reading my notes. First time it was played at level then. Amplify its power. They can level all of human society and clear a path for nature to heal. Yeah, I did finish this. Because the underground tournament would serve as a way for the characters to get information. Battles cards. They project a field that makes the card's effects real in that space. Plant monster cover the tracks. The plant monster are designed to decay after an hour. They carry little seeds that they can throw to the ground and grow into plant monsters. Yeah, so the Doomsday Seed is kind of a god card. Because it's supposed to be a card that when played destroys the entire field and both players. Like, it's supposed to be if you're about to lose, you play this card and force a draw, right? But when it was tested, it had powers outside of the game. Everything else is just illusions, right? All of the other card things are just illusions brought on by the EB gas, the Eco Battles gas, right? Um, but um, the Doomsday Seed creates effects outside of the game, and like the first time the Doomsday Seed was tested in a prototyping thing, it leveled the entire building that was running the testing and the prototyping. And now whatchamacallit, the keepers think that they can use their they think that they can use their super platform to amplify its power. Though I'm kind of doing the same thing with Eco Battles with the Doomsday Seed that I'm doing with the bomb in Halcyon Avenging. Where Halcyon Avenging is one bomb and some kind of a super amplification platform that like spreads the effect across the whole world. What do you do art, Nabiru? I didn't know you like. You're saying if I want an icon for it. Is that another one of your many talents and skills? Ah. Well, I would need to find something that was copyright free, like a stock image or something, to use, because I do plan to release these books commercially. And if I ever release the card game, that'll probably be a thing too. See, I'm trying to get my head in the whole Halcyon Avenging thing, but now you got me talking about Eco Battles. Ugh. Yeah, I'm right now for the testing stuff I'm doing. I am using just blank. I'm just leaving the image slot of the card blank and using a magic card format. Hey, it's funny because there are people who have made NFT projects where they have made NFTs out of smashed together stock images and they have tried to sell it. So like you aren't far off on something that people already do, Nabiru. I know. I just wanted to mention, like, don't put yourself down for it. That's still a skill. Get some drink on my unsweet tea. Silva thinks I'm a heathen because I drink unsweetened tea. Oh, okay. You don't know if it'd be classified as artwork? I don't know. It's one of those weird things. You know, like there probably is a reality somewhere out there in the multiverse where all these art AIs were just trained on stock images. And we had AIs that were using freely accessible stock images for their training in order to make different art. And I think that that would have been a lot better. But that's just my 2 cents. Probably less controversial. Did I see? I'm looking at my notes. Okay. Why is my notepad freezing? Okay. See, the problem with writing eco battles is the first fight I have to, like, the first thing I want to throw into a battle, right? Okay, let me check my notes for what I had for the first chapter. Come here. Open up. Yeah, you want to meet Echo, introduce the card game. That was chapter 1. Okay. What do you think, chat? Should I focus on what I was doing, or should I shift gears and try writing the first chapter of this eco battles thing by plotting out the cards for more of the eco battles cards? I need to make like a generic NPC deck that like not unnamed NPCs can be using. How do they even do that? Like, do you just write the scene and then design the card after the scene, or you either is good for you, Nabiru? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Um, guess. I guess I could try doing something. Let's try this. Let's see where this goes. Gonna be taking a lot of notes. Not the button I wanted. Okay. I'll do more writing on Halcyon Avenging later. All right, we're gonna try weaving this story. Ah. Gonna have to, let me get my notes over here so I can keep track of all the cards. As I come up with cards to use in the story, I'm gonna write them down and create them. Ooh, what color hair should Echo have? You just give them whatever sounds fun. The only cards I've come up with are the cards for the main character's deck. I haven't come up with generic cards yet, like Monster Reborn or any of that stuff. Okay. What color hair should should the main character have? This is important. I'm thinking making him a brunette, like giving him like shocking blue hair. I've never seen V Rains. Looks like it's made of plastic. Doesn't that describe every Yu-Gi-Oh main character's hair? Well, not the blue part, but the looks like it's made of plastic part. I mean, that's also anime in general. So the number of times where it's been like, you see one of the main characters watching in the crowd, and someone snaps it like a screenshot, and they're like, "Spot the main character," and you just see the main character is the one with the crazy hair. It turns yellow. What, does he go Super Saiyan? Ah. Ah, okay. What cards do I have him with on there? Give him algae batteries and stabilizing roots. Oh, okay, Nabiru. Um, uh, uh, Cactus Basher. I think I want to start. I want to back this up. I want to back this up and start the turn before this. I don't know. World's glow up bulb, Phyrexian cluster, fiber jar. Oh my gosh. Remember, I told you the main character's deck is all about direct attacking. Well, no, the correction. The main character's deck is filled with a lot of generic cards that deal with some defensive plays, as well as a little bit of removal and a little bit of rapid growth. That's what I call special summoning. Um, excuse me. But the main play is to use algae batteries and stabilizing roots to attach to one plant to make it super powerful. The primary play is using algae batteries plus stabilizing roots to connect to Hazel Cannon, which is a card that can attack directly, ignoring defenders. Hazel Cannon has a base power of 3. Algae Batteries doubles the base power, so it goes up to 6. And then Stabilizing Roots gives it +4, brings it to 10. So it's not enough for a one-hit kill, but it does a bunch of damage because you only start with 15 HP. So doing 10 damage that your opponent can't block and can't respond to is really powerful. Oh my gosh. But I kept the deck super generic because it's the starting deck. The first deck the character uses is never the broken GGs from later in the series, you know? He still runs vanillas. What's Glow Up Bulb do, Nabiru? Algae Battery says 1, Stabilizing Root 2, 3. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. If you special summon this card, you can only use this effect Glow Up Bulb once per... Okay. I'm presuming you just tribute Glow Up Bulb for some effect, and that's why getting it back is so powerful? Well, then it just never leaves the field. You could infinitely sacrifice it. I remember when I was really getting into the competitive Yu-Gi-Oh scene. Well, I guess get competitive is probably too strong a word. I could beat local duelists, but I never really did a whole lot at the competitive level. Like I went to YCS. I used to go to regionals. And I would do all right. I would do above average, but I never did any like super mega amazing god tier stuff. It's weird, like when it came to Yu-Gi-Oh, I was that person who could win at locals. Oh, that's cool, Silva. Just jet them out the deck to your hand. I remember Level Eater. I remember Level Eater used to have some crazy combos in the Synchrogasm deck. Being able to tune for like very specific things and just setting off so many combos. I'm worried I didn't set this, like trying to, I'm not liking how this came out. Because it's so confusing, and if you don't know what's happening, like to a new reader, I'm concerned that this will be just completely nonsensical. Or this will be completely nonsensical. You know, I'm just gonna write it and then I'll edit it later. That is editor Orion's problem. Well, like not nonsensical because of the card game, but like I'm not setting the stage. I'm not describing how like what the cards look like. I'm not describing what the arena looks like. Not describing the card effects. I guess that is season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, whoops! I didn't realize I still had Facebook open. Whoopsies! Let me close that. I don't need that going off while I'm writing. I just read the title of it, Silva. I just read the title and I was very done with it. Speaking of the D&D group, like sometimes I'll post stuff on Twitter just to get them out of my head, even if it's not like a super big deal. And I don't know if that's a really healthy way to process things. Like it just is. I was thinking the other day about like the new character that joined our D&D game and how that character, like that player decided for his character that he was going to have his character have her village be attacked by my character's people in order to set up this starting animosity between us. And like at first it was just quirky, but then it just kind of started to get a little bit annoying. But I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just gonna not engage. Like my character doesn't have anything to prove. Right? I'm gonna do me. But yeah, I just made a tweet about it and people were commenting on it and like, well, replying to it, commenting on it, you know what I mean. So I was just trying to get stuff out of my head. And it got me thinking, and I was like, it's really easy to get swept up in the moment, to look at these things these people are saying and to just be like, yeah, I should take this drastic action. But like sometimes you don't have to go that bad. Like sometimes you just don't engage. You know? Okay. But yeah, it just got me thinking like how easy it is. How easy it is to let well-meaning people inflame you into extreme action. Um when things don't always have to be that serious, you know? Okay. I don't even know how if this is working. Do. of course, the characters are going to have deck boxes on their belt. So in this scene right here, um, Echo picks up his cards, puts them in the deck box on his belt, and then he's going to go be nice and help his opponent back to his feet in order to try to reference that like Echo still has respect for his opponents. Basher, not a word. Nope, Basher's a word now. All right, Silva, have a good night. Thanks for coming. I hope you feel better. I know you work hard. So Basher is a word. Okay. This dictionary just is being old fashioned. Okay. Okay. So, Echo has this moment of feeling greatness as he looks at this stadium of people watching him play, and he's like, "All these people watched me win, so great." But then his bubble gets popped when the shop owner comes over. Is like, "Hey, can you move? We have another match waiting to use the stadium." Hmm. I had a thought. So I have a thought, and I don't know how good that thought is, Naviru, and anyone else watching. So the entire concept here is that whenever they play the game, right, their plant tables release the EB gas that allows them all to hallucinate the monster, the plants, and the effects and all of the stuff, right? That's the entire premise. Um, but what if in this instance, where he's playing in a stadium at a card shop, um, the card shop might have multiple stadiums, and as part of the hallucination, he's hallucinating all of these people watching him. Or maybe they're watching him online, because I did establish the internet was a thing in this world. It's a thought. Yes. Too much dual gas, hallucinating that he has fans. uh, so the concept of a card game that requires you to be high in order to play is kind of funny. Oh my gosh, that's funny, Nabiru. I think I've seen that before. There we go. Okay. All right. So this is Eco Battle, a one-of-a-kind card game that put your plants against your opponent's plants in a high-intensity environmental battle. Hmm. What am I going to call the internet? Like, what am I going to call the internet? Do I call it like the root network or the fungal network? What did I call it before? Pheromonal network. That's what I called it for wireless. Okay. So some card games, some card shops do this, where whenever they're having their locals or they're having a big tournament, they'll stream 1 or 2 matches. Um, every round, like they'll have one match be streamed, or they'll stream the top matches. Green Tube and Twig. Oh my gosh, Nabiru. And they're dual streaming to both Green Tube and Twig. Oh my gosh. Hold on, I gotta put that in my notes. Yes, they are green and they do have tubes. I love it. I love it, Nabiru. Some tube when it's a VR story. Oh my gosh. So when I did, it's funny. Whenever I did the original um Chat GPT generated premise for this, Chat GPT said to make it a virtual tournament with virtual arenas. And I'm kind of splitting the difference having the games be streamed across their pheromonal network. Um, no, I like pheromonal network for radio waves, but I don't feel like that works. Pheromonal network works as a replacement for radio, but it doesn't work as a replacement for web. What should I call the internet? The wired internet. Instead, like pheromonal network was like Wi-Fi or radio waves. Like I know in Halcyon Avenging we're mainly dealing with the pheromonal network because they're on boats. Hmm. But I call it the root network, inter-root network. I don't know. I like that inter-root network. I wanted something. I wanted something multi-syllable because, like, naming it just root just feels not great. But inter-root network seems like that'll work. Inter-root network, but we're gonna put a dash there. That's true. Get on Google, pull up Chrome. But we're kind of going a little bit analog with this. Your world's version of America Online, AOL. Oh. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. You might be onto something, Nabiru. Hold up. Hold up, hold up. So, the supercontinent is called Planta, and the country where Halcyon Avenging takes place is Plantare, but that's the central capital country, and I don't want that. I don't want this to be taking place in the same country. But we could call it so Planta is the name of the supercontinent. So POL, Planta Online. POR, Planta en route. What do you think? What do you think, Nabiru? Or POR, Planta en route. Wait, hold up. No. Oh my gosh. That's actually really funny. Okay, plants are en route. So this is also going to be talking about a common occurrence in card gaming, which is where um, when you get to top four of some locals tournaments, um, when you get to top four or top eight, what'll happen a lot of times is everybody will just vote to split the prize pool evenly instead of playing it out for first, second, third, and fourth. I don't know if you've ever been to a card shop or been to a card tournament, but like it, whenever the games are taking too long and it's getting too late and people just want to go home, a lot of times they'll just split the prize pool evenly. Should be another. Okay, so you do know of this phenomenon, Naberu. Hmm. So this is where you see Echo first hearing about the keepers, and he hears about them. It's like, they're whatever. He doesn't think he doesn't think much of them because he's like, that's silly. Okay. And this is where like Echo, you see Echo's concern here, where like his concern is that somebody's making fun of this poor kid by feeding him uh these outlandish lies, showing more of Echo's like caring heart. All right. This is where Echo's like taking a stand here. He's like, uh this is silly. And that's what Echo is saying. So I get so wrapped up in writing that I realize I'm not always being super entertaining, and I know that's why a lot of people don't turn into these streams. Um this What in the world? I just saw the thing Silva posted. And it's absolutely in the D&D chat. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. This is where it's really funny because normally whenever you win packs, everybody just opens their packs there and they get super excited, and they just get super excited for because there's just something special about opening packs. Um but here Echo is taking the smart route and saying, "No, I'm going to open my packs when I get home so I can look up so that way no one bugs me about trading before I find out what everything is worth." That's a really smart way to go about it. Nobody does it. Some people do it. Like they'll buy their box and they'll go home. Okay. How many words is that? That's like I don't know why I highlighted these only words to count. About 1,000 words. That's pretty good. This sentence right here I wanted to fix. All right. Let me just save this. I want to save as I go, so that way if anything happens, I don't lose what I've got. Gotta back everything up on the cloud soon. All right, so this is where we start to highlight more of like him starting to have doubts. Like he doesn't think the keepers are real because he's just heard about them, but he's doing this little kid thing where he's like, but nobody else knows what's causing these things. Like I say, a little kid, but he's like this main character is 14, so he has some cognitive ability and logical processing. Like he's a teenager. Maybe it's a mistake to introduce the keepers here, because I want chapter 1 to just be a day in the life and explaining the Eco Battles card game. What should I call? I just thought about something. What should I call the rarities in the Eco Battles card game? I was thinking like you have extra rare, very rare, but I don't want to use any of Yu-Gi-Oh's names. I don't want to use like super rare, ultra rare, um, or like secret rare. It's funny the things you think about. So we're gonna do that bizarre anime thing where the main character has parents. But because this is about the kids, I'm not gonna name the parents. Like the parents will just be there. Oh, whoops. I wanted arrows and I hit zeros. Let me put making notes of this. No, there's got to be a term for it. What do you call a rare plant? Call it an endemic plant. They're just called rare plants. I thought there might be a name for it. Endangered plants. Ooh. Or endemic plant means it only grows in one place. So I guess we could call them endemic. Hmm. Normal, rare, gold, legendary, mythic, unrelated. So many use those. There's EBC, EDC, BAS, double S, triple S. Primordial, ancient, mythic all sound good. Ooh, those do sound good. Well, mythic is a magic rarity. I don't want to use that. But ancient sounds good. So we'll do common, then the next rare will be endemic. The next rare will be ancient. Then the next rare will be Primordial. Common, Endemic, Ancient, Primordial. Okay. And we'll say the cards, instead of having a foil wrapper, have a papery wrapper. Like a cardboardy wrapper. Hmm. Primordial rare. What's the most powerful card here? Health, can play all cards. All cards have plants. Yeah, 2 copies. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So it does strike me as kind of wild that, like, in this world, the kids just play a game with hallucinogenic gas. Um, and it's just accepted as a normal thing. It is like it starts as like a funny concept, but then you see it in action, right? You see it in action, and you're just like, actually write it. It's just funny. Duel responsibly. To the point that like his dad makes a joke about like get the gas out your head and focus on your homework. What happens with dueling isn't the anti-drug and it's just the drug. What happens if dueling is just the drug? Oh no. These are the kinds of stories you can tell in this wild and crazy world that we came up with. Did I did I fully explain the eco battle gas? Eco battle gas or EB gas. Okay. High tier duelists in the world are just functioning addicts. Their bodies are used to the drug and it's not normal. This is like the opposite of a. This is literally the opposite uh, of a dare ad. It's the polar opposite of a dare ad. Nabiru. Yes, the worst drug. Money on it with all those herbs. They can't afford. Well, they have to buy the little seeds they use to produce the tables that produce that they play their cards on, that release the gas that allow them to hallucinate and see the cards. Cardboard's expensive here, so imagine it there. Yes. In a hyper capitalistic world that's just had money reintroduced to it. What kind of stuff is a 14-year-old learning in math? Let's see that. Uh, be algebra. Okay. Do I want a car or make this? Yeah. All right. So it's going to be algebra and geometry. Okay. Or pre-calculus. We'll say he's doing pre-calculus. That reminds me of actually you making that joke, Nabiru, reminds me of this joke. It's a Warhammer 40K joke. So it's a shame Silva's not here. But like uh the guy is explaining Warhammer to his girlfriend and he says, "So your starting army has to be 2000 points." And she's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, 2000 points. She's like, "Oh, good. I thought you said you spent $2,000 on this." Guy starts sweating nervously. Uh, why is this? Why does this thing not recognize pre-calculus? Giving all of these... Is it one word? Oh, whoops. Whoops. No, it's not one word. No, it's not one word. Is it one word? It is one word. It is one word. Wait, hold on. I see some of it where it's one word, some of it where it's hyphenated. Also supposed to be capitalized? What? No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Open Office has its weaknesses. Preference between one or the other. Maybe it wants a different. Yeah, I guess. I'm sticking with the lowercase. That I already told it was how I'm writing it. Okay. I think that's chapter one. I think that's chapter one done and dusted. Word count, what do we got? 1,500 words. So, like, I could stretch on a little bit further, do some more stuff explaining the rules. But I think this covers all the points I wanted to get through in the first chapter, and it's okay if the introductory chapter is a little bit short. All right. Let's... Alrighty. So that was fun getting the first chapter done, having the first chapter done of that. I think yeah, over the first few seasons they explained certain rules and card effects. There was usually an episode that was teaching a new player how to play the game that explained all the simple rules. Yeah. Well, like Cardfight Vanguard, the first episode taught the basics of Cardfight. Like you learned about the trigger checks, you learned about the riding, learned about the rear guards, albeit back then Vanguard was a very simple game. Oh, really? The remake did more for it? Okay. But like, so they did. I remember we used to love learning, like we would learn the card effects in Vanguard because the card would come out in the anime before it would get released, before we would get an actual picture of the card. So we would learn the card's effects from the anime before they actually got released a lot of times. And that's how it went a lot of the time. And then um the Vanguard movie came out. Do you remember the Vanguard movie, Nabiru? Oh, okay. I don't I don't know of Special Intercept ever being super relevant. That's the one where it doubles the defense power whenever it intercepts, right? Hmm. But yeah, so like the Vanguard movie was the first time they didn't explain any card effects, and they just had the card effects going off without explaining them in order to try to make a more dynamic episode. Yes, to save Aichi in one fight. I can imagine that. So, um, yeah, it was this. Uh, and then after the Cardfight Vanguard and after the Cardfight Vanguard movie, we got into the first G series, which I don't know if I guess they got back into G with the reboot. Um, But for the first part of G, they never explained any effects. Like we would get barely an explanation of things as they were happening. Um, it was like barely explaining any of the effects, and it was kind of frustrating because like we wanted to know what these new cards did. We got an entirely new clan. We wanted to know what the Gear Chronicle stuff did. Like we didn't know if we should be hyped for Gear Chronicle or worried that it was going to be a flop. Ended up making it OP. Um, like Gear Chronicle was so powerful. What do you mean by Stride feeling weird? Because it was essentially a Vanguard extra deck. Or because in lore it was only ever supposed to be Gear Chronicle's power. But then the Royal Paladin dude's avatar, the one with the swords, messed up stuff. I'll be honest with you, I've never link summoned and I don't know how to link summon. Like I have some link cards that my friend gave me, but I don't know how to use any of them. I know how XYZ summoning works. I know how synchro summoning works. I understand the theory of pendulum summoning. I've never pendulum summoned either. I guess I'm a Yugi boomer. Yes. Yep. Well, the thing is, if you had them like that defensively, it would be insane. If you had that defensive 26k power, it would completely negate the point of striding because your opponent would just have to stride in order to hit you. So I think they dealt with it the best way they could. And I think they unintentionally created this very strategic card game with the combos you could pull off. Well, a break ride only gives the plus 10k for the next turn, right? Or is that permanent? Yeah, just for one turn. Okay. All right. I was about to say. Yeah, but the monster doesn't stay. Exactly. It's like the inverse of a break ride. I think I liked the G era. I liked G era because we had everything in G era. The original G era, we had break ride, limit break, ultimate break. We had Legion, we had Stride, and you had all of the mechanics. It was this big pile of stuff and all of these different ways for cards to interact and do things. Well, Imaginary Gifts was after the reboot. I'm still mad that they never dubbed Legion. I know why they didn't dub Legion, because they were a season behind and they wanted to be dubbing the G era because that was the stuff that was coming out and that was the stuff they wanted to sell. So they wanted to be dubbing G, so they just skipped Legion. But I think Legion played some really great Vanguard. Also, I think that they also weren't going to be able to find a good English translation for Seek the Mate. Because yeah, I also remember that, like, Legion was the season where the main characters took physical damage from their fights and ended up bandaged. Albeit, whenever they got motivated, they would just pull their bandages off and be like, "I'm fine, let's go." But like, there was those scenes when like they were just like bandaged up and wounded. Legion was when we started having. You watched him grow. Like, I don't know what he did in the reboot because I didn't watch the reboot. But like in the first season, in the first series, you watched Aichi grow. Like, I think Aichi won maybe 4 games in the first season. Like, you just watched him get his face kicked in and suffer through it. And like, there was at one point when Ren was like, you know, if you'd won even a single battle in this tournament, you wouldn't have held Kai back, and all of that. And then after finally accepting both, yeah, he can lose when it truly counts. And then like, after finally accepting both his light and his dark sides, his positive and negative tendencies, his constructive and destructive forces, and making peace with himself and achieving this inner peace, and he had all of that ripped away from him. He had his avatar, he had these cards that were like his friends ripped away from him, and everyone in his life was gaslighting him unintentionally and saying, "What are you talking about? Gold Paladin never existed. You've been playing Gold Paladin. Royal Paladin never existed. What is this Royal Paladin you're talking about?" And he just got gaslighted the entire second season. And everyone, like, he thought he was going, well, everyone thought he was going crazy, but through it all, he's like, "No, I believe in Blaster Blade. I believe Blaster Blade exists." And like, I still get chills when I remember the finale of that season, right? And like, Leon was like, you find out Leon had made a deal to seal away the Shadow Paladin and Royal Paladin in order to release Aquaforce. And Leon's like, "How can you know? How can you know what it's like to lose your clan? How can you know to have what it's like to have that part of yourself sealed away? Like, you don't know what that suffering is like. I did what I had to do." Well, yeah, that was that beautiful moment. And like, um that moment when Kai was like, "I know what it does to people because I watched that happen to someone. I watched you do that to Aichi, and I watched Aichi build himself back up, and now he's here fighting for the people he cares about, but he's not trying to seal you away. He's not trying to punish you. He just wants his friends back." And then that moment when Aichi special summoned Blaster Blade Spirit, I cried. Now, they got Ezel's effect completely wrong. Like, they got Ezel's effect completely wrong, and that threw me off when they got Ezel's effect completely wrong. But I cried. Like, with Believe in My Existence blaring in the background, that moment when Aichi said, "Okairi nasai," or no, he said, what do you say, "Okairi nasai" or "Okairi"? But basically, he said, "Welcome home." In this moment of welcoming home his beloved friend who had been missing for the entire season, and it flashed through all of the scenes of Aichi as Blaster Blade, right? Like, oh no, am I losing frames? Okay, we should be good now. What? No. Should be good. Yeah, I can see that. So one of my friends told me something that I don't know if it's true, but apparently there was supposed to be an episode where Ren special summoned Blaster Dark Spirit the same way Aichi summoned Blaster Blade Spirit, but it got cut for some reason. Like it was supposed to happen when they all were fighting separately in that Shadow Realm. And that makes me kind of sad because I would have liked to see Ren have that connection with Blaster Dark Spirit. But like we never really saw like Ren dig into that Blaster Dark whole side. Kai gave off the he has an OP dragon, has a friend turn enemy Ren, he must save, even saving Aichi. Yeah. There were so many fan theories that Aichi was originally supposed to be a girl and that Kai and Aichi were supposed to be a main couple. There were so many fan theories about that. Did you ever hear those, Nabiru? Like, I mean, both of them being guys never stopped anyone from shipping them together at all. At all. But it was still funny. Mm-hmm. But like having him be that kind of effeminate guy that just like uh that like is willing to stand up when he has to. Like I think it would have been a powerful story as a girl main character. But like it just was a mess. Like it was a beautiful mess. Vanguard the anime was this beautiful mess of a show. Yeah, well, like they become their they become their avatar. They become their vanguard. So I've heard that the current season of Vanguard Overdress is like being kind of yabai. There's female vanguards. Okay, that's funny. I'm not surprised. But yeah, Nabaru, I've heard that the current like Overdress episodes have been like really yabai. Are you watching the current season, Nabaru? You've been distracted. How dare you, Naberu? How dare you not watch every single anime to ever be released and read every single manga to come out of every single place? How dare you, Naberu? Yes, Kai gave Aichi Blaster Blade, and then in the Legion arc, he fought alongside Blaster Blade again. Oh, am I stalling out again? All right, let's end stream. I'm getting all of these error messages that stuff is happening to my stream right now. I'm like, why? Well, he gave it to Aichi when they were kids. He may not have been. He may have been playing a Royal Paladin deck when he was a kid. But then once he gave away his key card, he switched over to Draconic Overlord. But then, like, he for whatever reason chose to play an anti-match with the Numbskull. Betting the prize cards, which I mean, yeah, that's my theory. That's a fan theory. All right, let's wind down for the night. We got 1,500 words done. Not the biggest night, but for having to come up with cards and yep. Except Morikawa played grade 3s from every deck. He played grade 3s from every deck and every clan. Alright, so tonight's been a nice chill night. Got a bunch of writing done, made some progress on some things. Ironed a few things out. Wrote a card game battle. Seeded some things. I'm probably going to do a bunch more note taking afterwards, working on some of my campaigns. I was debating working on my campaigns on stream, but on the off chance one of my players came into the stream, I didn't want them to get spoiled for what the campaign's going to be about. You know, I wanted there to be some kind of you know, I want there to be some level of surprise. All right. Anyway, let's wind down for the night. I want to say to Nabaru, to Silva, to anyone else who watched the stream in the background and didn't say anything, to anyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say thank you for coming. I want to say that I love all of you and I believe in each and every one of you. I think that you all are wonderful, powerful, unique individuals with special, one-of-a-kind energy that only you can bring to everything you do. I believe that you all make this world a better place just by being in it, and I'm grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. Thank you for giving me your time and your energy to watch this stream and to be a part of this community. I value each and every one of you, and you all bring something unique to this community. I hope that you have a wonderful night, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. The next stream is going to be Friday, like I said in my announcement on Discord and on my YouTube community page. I'm not doing the Tuesday night streams anymore because I'm going to be running a Power Rangers campaign. Yeah, except it's not going to be the Power Rangers TTRPG. I'm running a Power Rangers themed campaign using the Lancer rule set. It's funny. It's going to be absolutely. I think it's going to be absolutely hilarious, but I still have to plot it out. There's so many things. Like I went from like it's this weird thing whenever you tell people what you're thinking about doing, and then they're like, okay, yeah, I want to be part of it. Let's do it. Well, they weren't exactly like that, but like they were like, okay, let's do it. Let's do session 0 next week, and I was like, But thankfully, like it's every other week. So then after tomorrow, when we have session 0, I'm gonna be able to take the feedback, the notes, and the information I gained from tomorrow, um, and turn that into uh actionable stuff. I have 2 weeks to put it together, so I'm not crunching, you know. So that's nice. Also, all right. So if you could like the stream, I'd really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm with getting it out and sharing it to people. Um, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing here on YouTube, please be sure to uh, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and ding the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or release any new content. Um, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter or join my Discord. Links to both of those are down in the description below. I hope that you all have a wonderful night. Like I said, next stream is going to be Friday, 8:30 p.m. EST. We're going to be going to just the regular Monday, Fridays now from now on. So that's just going to no more every other Tuesday. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. I'm not sure what I'm going to do Friday. Might be doing some more Armored Core. We'll see how it all goes. But yeah, also, please remember, you never are required to donate to be a member of this community. You aren't required to pay to be here, and there is no expectation of you to give me money in order to be a welcome member of this community. With that said, if you ever feel motivated to donate to improve the stream or to improve my life, there are links in the description below where you can do that. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Also, always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always, always, always stop to enjoy the memes. Have a good night.